Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, dear brothers and sisters. Welcome back to another episode of Allah Loves. So this one, we talk about a common scenario that takes place when you're in a place where you're negotiating or where you have to make a trade, or particularly those that don't live in the Middle East. If you go to Umrah or Hajj, or you go to certain countries where there aren't fixed prices on things and you have to negotiate in the marketplace. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us our rizq, our sustenance, and our circumstances, obviously. So to some people, an extra dollar doesn't mean that much. To others, it's going to be the make or break of a transaction. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam says in this hadith, "Inna Allah yuhibbu samha al-bay', samha al-shira', samha al-qada." Allah loves the one who is generous when they buy, generous when they sell, and generous in the repayment. And that's, the repayment of something is in collecting a repayment. That's not necessarily riba, obviously, or it doesn't include riba at all, obviously. It doesn't include any type of interest or usury. But this idea of people that are easygoing with the way that they trade. Now, obviously, one of the first groups of people that Allah warned in the Quran was waylun lil mutaffifin, those who cheat with the scales. And it was just, a 0.01 addition or something that you do just so you can get something extra out of a transaction. Now, the believer is more worried about something happening in which they're going to be charged by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala because they wronged a person. So the Prophet, peace be upon him, mentioned the station of Jannah, of a person, the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala upon an honest merchant, an honest salesman, someone who's honest in their trade. They don't cheat people. They don't try to take anything extra. They seek the extra from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And the Prophet, peace be upon him, here is talking about a person who buys as well, and when a person deals with debt or repayment and things of that sort. And there are various narrations that are all around this idea of how we deal with one another in trade. Now, this is a situation in which we have to clarify that this doesn't mean being a fool when you buy or sell. This doesn't mean getting taken advantage of. But it means not being someone who goes overboard with haggling, not being someone who cheats, obviously, someone who's gentle, someone who doesn't sacrifice or compromise any of their faith in the process of trying to get a few extra dirhams, a few extra dinars, a few extra dollars in the process of buying or selling something. That if there's going to be a little bit extra, it's okay. And sometimes you also have to have a generous heart. If you are someone who's been enabled to walk into a marketplace and it's easy for you to buy things, and you don't really have to worry about that extra dirham, that extra dollar, then, maybe it means something to that salesperson that they get that extra 5, riyals, that extra 5 dirhams or dollars, that you let them have it because maybe that person is indeed in need. And that's part of the ihsan, the excellence of a person. But if you see someone who's selling, who's just trying to make an honest living, and they're having a hard time, sometimes in some countries you see people trying to sell Kleenex boxes or trying to sell anything just to get by. It doesn't hurt you, inshallah ta'ala, to give them as a means of sadaqah. And, even if you're paying a little bit extra, just for the sake of honoring that person in trying to have an honest living and trying to get by. So again, Allah loves when a person is gentle in buying, gentle in selling, and gentle in the process of repayment. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make us amongst them. Allahumma ameen. Jazakumullahu khairan. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.